Be brave, be brave, be strong, be strong. You are loved, you belong. Someday soon, you will see, you're exactly who you're supposed to be.
The It Gets Better project became an internet phenomenon by showing lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender young people the levels of happiness they can attain. Now It Gets Better becomes a nationally touring theatrical production, featuring singing, dancing, multimedia, and more. PreViews editor John Mark Rafacz speaks with Liesel Reinhart, writer and director of It Gets Better, about the show's collaboration among the Gay Men's Chorus of Los Angeles, Speak Theater Arts, and the It Gets Better project. Reinhart talks about incorporating Penn State's Cultural Conversations Festival and University Choir into the performance at University Park. She also discusses what audiences will see on stage and what she hopes they'll take with them.
And we all know that It Gets Better is a international web-based phenomenon and more, but why do a stage version?
The idea, I think, grew from the It Gets Better video that was created by the Gay Men's Chorus of Los Angeles. It was a treatment of True Colors by Cyndi Lauper, and there was something theatrical about the video. I don't know if you've had a chance to see it, but later in the video, the chorus arrives, and there was something about the video itself. We were talking about it. We said, it's sort of an It Gets Better narrative. It's a metaphor, and we started talking about the chorus. We said, boy, the chorus has sort of been an It Gets Better organization for about 30 years when we think about it. We were talking about doing a high school outreach project, and we wanted to capture some new content. We'd previously done a Harvey Milk show, and we said, gosh, what is the contemporary message right now? We wanted to do a project that both had theatrical value but also a strong outreach component. And It Gets Better just seemed like a matched message between our two missions for the It Gets Better project and also what we've been doing for 34 years. So we decided to reach out to the It Gets Better folks, and they were really surprisingly excited and open, and it happened very quickly.
So there will be 6 members of the chorus actually part of the tour.
Yes, we have six singing members who are traveling and touring with us, and we are backed up by a local community chorus to try and get the full chorus feeling.
Right, and in our case, that's Penn State's University Choir, which is a wonderful, large choir here at Penn State.
Yeah, we're very excited to work with them.
The presentation is part of the larger collaboration of Penn State's Cultural Conversations Festival, which is a performance and visual arts festival about diversity that happens every year, and so this is scheduled to happen right in the middle of that. And Susan Russell, who is a Penn State professor and also the director of Cultural Conversations, is working with 6 students who will do monologues during the show.
Yes, I've been talking with Susan. She's fantastic.
So what can people expect to see on stage?
Well, the stage show is a combination of video, both original video we've created for the show and It Gets Better videos, a small selection of them, so that people understand what the project is about. There's also a fictional narrative, sort of our through story, which takes the form of almost a traditional musical. It's shorter, but you get a narrative story following one main character, and it's sort of got a fantasy component to it. And then the real-life stories of our cast members. Each of our cast members is gay and has, in his own way, had an It Gets Better experience throughout life. All very different, and some incredibly powerful, and as we learned during our last performance in Iowa, very relatable to our audience members and our communities.
The local component, will they be sort of dropped in between the Gay Men's Chorus performances, or will there be points where they're interacting with one another?
But there's a very exciting moment, I think by most accounts the most powerful moment of the show, in which they will interact. So our narratives will coalesce in a very exciting and powerful moment in the show.
So what type of music will the show include? Is it mostly popular music, or is it from a greater variety of genres?
It's a lot of pop music. We wanted to go with things that a lot of people would find recognizable. We wanted to make this particularly invitational because it's not a show that's geared for gay audiences. It's geared toward all audiences. We have a few, we were interested in gay artists, not necessarily the singer in some instances, but maybe the composer or one of the composers of the songs. We do have a traditional hymn that we perform in the show. We also have a couple of classic pieces. One of our interests was actually to try and get selections from as many different decades of the last 100 years of music as possible, again, to make sure that any person who comes and sees the show would have a touch point.
In addition to the performance, you and the members of the chorus and the music director, Morton, is it Kerr or Keir?
Here.
Will be here in residence for that entire week, also working with students and community members. And there's even a component where after the performance, you get together with a community roundtable.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about that.
This is a project called the World Cafe, and it's based on an international new technique of facilitating community dialogue. And the idea is that we'll spend the week there, meeting with people and talking with people and listening to a lot of what's going on in your community. But we want to leave with some sense of a residual impact of the performance and potentially even something significant in the form of a community plan. So we want to create an opportunity where we will have our company members turn into facilitators for a dialogue where we get key stakeholders in the community, people who might represent LGBT organizations, education, law enforcement, health services, hopefully students, the performing arts, even business owners, and get them in a room and have them do a facilitated series of these table conversations where they move around and talk in different groups. And we work them through a series of questions that might, if they're motivated, lead them to some community planning steps that they want to do in the future.
That sounds like a great opportunity.
It is, and it can be really interesting to put people at the same table. So to have a coffee shop owner, a member of law enforcement, a high school principal, and a student sitting together and talking about how to make the community more positive for LGBT youth. You can have a student say, boy, it sure be nice to have somewhere to go after school where we knew we could meet informally or, feel comfortable. And the coffee shop owner says, well, I could maybe do something like that. And the law enforcement says, wow, well, we have a small fund we create for, that each year for a community program, and we might be able to help fund that, And that's what tends to happen at these kinds of places where you put all the stakeholders in the right place together.
Right. So, bottom line, for people who are going to see the performance or participate in any of the activities that week, what is it you hope they take away from it? Is there some central overriding theme?
The one criticism of the It Gets Better project over time, and I say criticism because it's been a very small part of the response to that project. It's overwhelmingly positive, but has been that it's saying hold your breath a little longer and things will get better later. And, certainly the next question, if we can get the message out that it gets better to everyone who needs it, the next step is how do we make it better now? And so the idea of moving from cyberspace to face-to-face interactions is to try and make sure that everybody in the community is, one, infused with this idea that it gets better and can share that with any young person who needs to hear it. But two, is challenged to think about, well, why do we need this message to begin with? What can we do immediately that might remove some of these barriers to kids being happy currently? There's an enormous exodus of LGBT kids from their home communities. Many people move away. The Gay Men's Chorus is filled with people from around the country who have left their hometowns because they didn't feel happy there, that they could have the lives they wanted. And we would like communities to think about what they lose when they lose their kids to living in other cities, and hopefully challenge them to think about making life better so that they don't have to have that loss of these wonderful people to some other world.
Tickets are on sale for It Gets Better, February 7th, 2013, at Penn State's Eisenhower Auditorium. Order online at www.cpa.psu.edu or by phone at 1-800-ARTS-TIX.